Okay, so today I was going to talk about something kind of the same thing I've been talking about. But I was talking to somebody today. I was like, oh, I'm going to make this perspective too. So I'm kind of going to talk about some of the same stuff I've been talking about. But one of the things I want to say, so I've been having the weirdest thing going with my hair. And this side seems to be going way more gray, way faster than this side. And my swirl on the back of my head, because we are in movement and the swirl is going one direction. And it's weird because it's going, but with my hair parted on this side, it's like this side of my hair is like a completely different head or something. I was like, this is so weird, because I had noticed recently, like, man, this is inches shorter than this side, like weird. And so I trimmed a couple inches off of it, and then I changed the part, but by a little. It's so weird when you change your part. It is the weirdest thing. Like, if you've ever, like a guy who always parts his hair on the side and he changes it, it's weird. It's like a whole new face. So you got to get used to yourself, even just changing it a little bit. And then the other thing that's weird too is like, all of a sudden it feels really heavy over here. Like, oh my gosh, it feels so much heavier now on this side. So I don't know. I'm just trying it. I also got some of that Caranique stuff that's supposed to help with the hair growth, because this side seems to be getting like a lot thinner. And this is also the side where I cracked my head open and it got, had to get stapled shut. And so all around there, I think it made that hair go out. Like, when that all happened, pretty sure that they shave a little, or they cut some of the hair back to, seal it back shut. So I don't know, something happens, hair doesn't grow back in scar tissue. So anyways, I don't know what's going on, but so that's why I'm trying to change my hair thing. And also, speaking of hair growth, another thing too, as you get older, your eyebrows start falling out and turning gray. Like, the older people have no eyebrows. I also got this stuff that's called Grande eyebrow growth or something. It's something you put on there, supposedly stimulates the hair growth. But oh my gosh, it's so dramatic. But I don't know, it's chemicals in it, kind of freaks me out. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, and the mattress pad, I did get a better sleep, but also now the bed's way higher and Stella can't get on it. And so she was crying and crying and crying. I kept trying to put her up blocks and stuff to climb up, but it freaks her out. So she was just very, very upset last night. So we still have been up since, like, I think at 3 something we got up. Getting so used to it though now. I'm getting up these weird times. So, anyways, but the bed's way more comfortable. I haven't got the pillow yet. And now I'm like, man, this pillow I have sucks. It's itchy. It gets all like, whatever makes up inside the pillow gets like lumpy instead of staying smooth. It's just uncomfortable. So I think it's going to really, be a lot better when I have my pillow and my mattress pad. But it was so much more comfortable. Oh my gosh. And, but what I was thinking about, so I was talking to my friend, and, we have these deep conversations about stuff. And, she's focused on healing. I'm focused on healing. It's like you're focused on the spiritual path. So one thing too is, like, if you think about it, God's law, the commandments, like, the way they word stuff, but God's law is like the path. It's not like laws. It is the recipe to enlightenment. It's follow these rules and you will reach a point of enlightenment. But, everything gets all twisted around to control us and stuff in this life. But, the whole thing about, don't covet your neighbor. Don't look at what someone else has and think, oh, they've got it so much better. They have the life I want to have. And she was talking about, like, say you have a musician and you have a couple of musicians, And one goes, and they're doing the same thing, but one gets discovered and becomes super famous and is making money and stuff. And the other one is feeling like, why isn't this happening for me? What did I do wrong? I don't understand. Why are they getting famous and I'm sitting here struggling still? Like, they're not even that good a person or whatever, that the person could feel. But the whole thing is, it's because that is their life path. That is what they came in to learn. It isn't about the fame. It's about, you have lessons to learn. And, the musician, if he's going to get caught up in this other person's life now, focus on their life and lose track of what is important, is the music. Are you going to focus on your music and your gifts and focus on what's real and what people would be coming into your orbit when you're following your path? Or are you going to focus on this other person's path and think like, life's unfair. Look, they get whatever they want and I don't ever get what I want. And it's just not fair. Nothing's fair. And really, what you're not seeing is the other side of their lessons. You're looking at the surface. You're thinking, oh, they got it all. They got what I want. I don't get what I want. I never get what I want. Somebody else always gets what I want. But, you are coming to learn that. But they are having their own life path. So in that path, like this person who isn't famous and they have their music career, they're probably getting people that are coming towards them that are really into the music and, really want to play and create, and they could have a fucking breakout great hit, that comes from that. But, it has to be that you are continuing to follow your dreams, and then you are having different people come in. And then this other person looks like, oh, they got it all. It was so easy for them. They're just over there playing one day and here comes a record producer. Like everything just, lines up and falls in place. Like right there, that should be showing you everything is lining up. It falls into place because that's where you're supposed to be. So when it lines up and falls into place, that is your path. And there are lessons behind every path. There is no like, oh, they got it all. Everything's great for them now. This person could have the greatest friends and this person has to dodge bullets all day long. They have friends that would throw them under a bus for an opportunity of what they have, or people that are just trying to suckle off of what they have coming around them in their orbit. Like they don't have the same caliber as friends. They have to be super careful. They have to weed through and figure out who's really there for them. That kind of lifestyle is going to bring in people who don't have your best interest in mind. So those are a lot of hard lessons, a lot of things that the person who has it all seems to, have everything handed to them. Everything's going good, but they are having a lot of complicated issues and lessons to learn. And then how can they turn to somebody and say, man, this is hard stuff? Because then other people are like, well, you have everything, why don't you whine and complain about it? So where do they have somebody who's there for them? The other guy, the musician who has true friends, could go through something and have, somebody to talk to because they're going on a different life path. Like they think like this one is successful and they don't realize the success in their own. And it is just like, you are, think about like the movie Vacation, and he's in the car with his family and they're going, there's beautiful scenery everywhere. There's people you're wanting to spend time with in the car. And, there's all sorts of conversations. There's all sorts of ways for you to get to show yourself so your kids really understand who you are. Like you have all this opportunity right there in your car. And you're just going to keep looking at this red Corvette. It has everything going on for it, man. They're having the better time. Look at that freedom. And, you're focused on what they have. So you're missing out on what you have. And you're not looking at the scenery in your life because you're so busy looking at the scenery in their life. And you're not living that life. So you don't know the struggles and the perils that they're going through to try and keep afloat. It just seems like, they've got it all. which is a really shallow thing for us to think, but it's like common. And that is, you know, it's all part of this manipulation of our mind to get us to focus on other things, to get us to focus on other people's lives and to always desire what someone else has. It's the whole thing with keeping up with the Joneses, this hierarchy. I'm better than you because I have this. And, you know, we've all been participating in it because it's been a part of the paradigms of this age that we've been encountering to learn and experience and grow from. And, you know, but it's breaking free. We're breaking free from that. And that's why it's coming to the surface. So we get to really look at that and go, oh, man, yeah, we do that. Oh, we don't want to do that. You know, I want to be enjoying my life. I've only got a certain amount of time to enjoy it. Why do I want to be focusing on someone else's life, thinking they have something better, you know? And just like what I was talking about with the beauty queen inside. I mean, we've got all of these girls who are trying to look like somebody else. They, you know, they're doing all sorts of restructuring with their faces and, you know, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with what girls are doing to try and look like somebody else right now. You know, I mean, this whole thing of this corset, like I'm going to crush my ribs so I can create this wasp body or something because somebody else has a body like that and I want my body to look like that. Well, what if your body looks distorted, looking like someone else's body? What if you're supposed to just look like your body? Like the girl who I had seen who went and she started exercising. Like she shows all these pictures of herself in the beginning, you know, and her head is really huge because she's very fat. So she has a lot of chins and stuff. So it distorts her face. She can't really see the face that's underneath. As she loses weight, her face reveals itself. And she's got all of this beautiful bone structure. You know, she's got a beautiful face. But, you know, she thought she was ugly. She didn't know. And then as she's going to the gym and she's exercising and just, you know, focusing on getting herself in shape, she has this killer body, you know. And so she is revealing herself to her. You know, it isn't about trying to go and look like somebody else. It's just to focus on taking care of yourself. There's so much of stopping trying to look like somebody else and noticing the beauty that you have. Like everybody has beautiful things about them. Even somebody who, you know, with like there's a lot of these people right now coming out with those weird wart growth things, you know, like that's a real thing. And those people have been, you know, staying hidden before because, you know, if you have something that's very significant like that and you go out and people stare and stuff, then it takes a lot for somebody to overcome that and to be, you know, look different. Like, you know, that Twilight Zone when I was a kid showed it all, you know, when they're doing everything is through this thin blindfold over their eyes like a gauze, and they just want to look like everybody else. And then when you see that, you know, the girl underneath the blindfold is beautiful and all of the people around her all look like kind of like pig faces or something, and you know, she wants to look like them because it's all the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You know, if we all lived in a land that it was all people that had those wart growths all over their face and stuff, and we didn't, we would feel like the oddball. Like, where's my warts? Why didn't I get any warts? You know, what's wrong with me? Why can't I have warts? Because you can look at them and, you know, if you can look at them as a beautiful object, it is like, it's a beautiful creation. Everyone is a beautiful creation. You know, I mean, they've got all of these extra things, you know, to make their face more complicated and more unusual and more interesting. But we've got to look for that as being beautiful and quit thinking like there's an ideal. We're all trying to get to this ideal. I think that whatever her name is, I think it's by no accident, this Khloe Kardashian, you know, I mean, is so, you know, on the surface for everyone to see and witness this lady's struggle with her own identity, you know, because she's taller, she's a different size and shape than her sisters, different hair color and stuff. So she's trying to transform herself into this other being that she thinks looks pretty, but she's just stopping looking like a human. She's looking more like an AI, And I used to think she was pretty, I mean, I know. And then plus to keep putting these filters over your face, like, it's hiding behind a filter, because you can't accept your real face. You feel like you have to hide behind this filter face. And they're creating this insecurity in people. So that is why it's important for you to look at it and be rational when you look at it. Look at it from a perspective of what it's doing to people's psyche, because it is breaking people's spirit down. Not everybody's going to look like one person. Why would we even want to? Why would all of these girls want to look like a Kardashian? And there's so many of these girls that want to look like this, what is that called? It's all part of the AI thing. This, the Japanese, those caricature girls, and they even have girl bands that all look like that, anime. So all of these girls that are trying to turn their face into an anime cartoon face, it's like, I mean, it's all about realizing and understanding what is real and what is important, and learning to love yourself and accept yourself, and to stop coveting over somebody else's life and think they've got it all, because they've got struggles just like you have struggles. We all have struggles. We all have things we have to go through. That is what life is about. You come in to learn. You come in to experience so that you can grow and expand. And, all of those different rules that are there for us, God's rules, aren't, like the same as what they create for rules and laws. Like they're going to jail us. They even create this whole thing of like, you won't get into heaven if you don't follow the rules. That none of that stuff is true. That is all just a part of their manipulative plan, because this is a cult. This is breaking free from a cult and reprogramming your thought patterns, reprogramming how you look at the world, realizing what is important, connecting to yourself, and, turning on that God particle inside of you so that you have guidance and you can see clearly. Things become more transparent. Things become crystal clear over what's important and what's not important. And that's why I say, when we get to this place where we're all in that mindset, we won't need government. We won't need policemen and stuff, because we have it inside of our own self. It's in our programming. It's in our DNA. It's in our imprint. It's inside of us to know right from wrong. And, and this is also weeding out, like I've said before, like if somebody is just really of that dark energy, they won't move forward. However, they leave this experience, I don't know, or they're going to leave in all different ways. That's their life plan. We all make our own life plans, and we have to get out of this idea, like, this person is doing this, the same thing I'm doing, and it's working out for them, and thinking like we're doing something wrong. No, you have to stay focused on your life plan, your life journey. Don't focus on what's going on with them, because everything will open up for you as well as you're going. And it may not be that you came here to become rich and famous. I mean, that is a life path. Not, that is what, if you're on that life path, if you came here for that experience, then things will fall into that. It's not something you have to chase. There's no getting something that's not yours. There's chasing it. You chase it and chase it and chase it. You can go through your life being disappointed and sad and mad and feeling like a failure because you don't have what someone else has. Or you can start looking at it as like, I have a very unique life path that, all exciting things are going to happen for me on mine, when you're focused on your journey and you start noticing your scenery and who you meet, in the coffee shop, who are you talking to? What are you learning from every experience? That is where we need to focus our energy, in allowing things to unfold, allowing our experience to reveal itself. You know, don't focus on what someone else has and think they've got it all, because it's not true. It is, you know, this is just so much about people beginning to understand what life's all about. And like I keep trying to say, you know, we don't have control. There's no control that you have. You can want something and want something and want something all day long, but if that's not what you came here to experience, that's not what you're going to have. You're going to have what you came here to experience. And you can either, you know, pay attention and enjoy the ride as you go through the experience, or you can, you know, sit and whine and complain and focus on what other people have and feel miserable. You know, it's up to each person, and each person is here to learn that and experience that. Like, you may go through your whole life whining and complaining because blah, blah, blah got this, and that's what you wanted. You work just as hard as them. It could be, you know, their manager, and, you know, I'm still just working here, you know, and be all pissed off and be mad. And, you know, oh, of course now they get the new car, they get whatever they want, you know, but you're not focused on your own stuff. So then by the time you die, then that's what you get to see. Like, oh my gosh, you mean I could have had this and this. I could have been enjoying all of these things, but I was so focused on what I didn't have that I couldn't even see what I did have. Because so much of life is about gratitude and being excited. It doesn't matter if you think someone has more than you. You don't understand what comes with that more. You know, it's being grateful for your experience, being grateful for your time being alive, being grateful for everything that you have. And, you know, when you get in that mindset, you will start to see more and more great things happen to you. And it may not be, you know, rich and famous. That unfolds itself. That will have itself happen. If that's meant to happen, that happens. You know, there's no forcing things to happen. There's no doing the right thing. You know, if I work hard enough, if I, you know, go around and meet all the right people, no, if it's not supposed to happen, it's not supposed to happen. I know, you know, so many people who do these different skills who didn't get famous from doing it. Like, there's more people who don't get famous than do. You know, famous isn't, I mean, it's something that so many people desire, you know, and they think that's success because they've been selling us that. You know, that's part of the reprogramming. You know, stop thinking in those terms. You know, a success is about living your life in gratitude and putting out love and feeling good, you know. It is about having a smile at the end, you know. It is about that completion and feeling good. You know, I mean, it's definitely people on their deathbed aren't sitting there going like, damn it, if I could have just been famous. Damn it, if I could have just won an award. You know, if I could have just been noticed. No, they think about like, oh my gosh, I should have spent more time with my family. Oh, I wish I would have said this different. I wish I would have done that different. Those are the things that are going to bother you. So those are the things you need to focus on. Your relationships with people, what energy you're putting out into the world. You know, do you leave a room and everybody's like, God, glad they're gone? Or do people want more? Or people like, no, don't go, we want to talk. You know, when you come walking in a room, do people get excited, like they're excited to talk to you? Because, you know, you make them feel good and you give them insights. Or do you walk in the room and people are like, turn the other way? Oh, I don't want to talk to them. They're a real downer. Every time I talk to them, I feel bad about myself. I feel down. I feel depleted. I feel like they're just constantly trying to prove to me how great they are. You know, people just get in these weird kind of things because they're all looking outside of themselves to feel good. And people develop very toxic ways of interacting with one another, you know, in order to try and achieve that goal of feeling good about themselves. But, you know, when we just open ourselves up and we just let ourselves be vulnerable and we take down these walls that we put up to protect us, we just take a risk, we just show who we are, we just be our authentic self, and we just put that out there. And, and then accept the fact, like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But, if I'm putting my real, true, authentic self out there, then the people who I am their cup of tea, they will come and they will find me, and I will have other people who are like me, that understand life on the same level as me, because I was able to put myself out there, but so many people are not putting their real, true, authentic self out there. They're putting on a persona, and that's why it's so significant. I think about why, when we're sitting here worshiping people who make a living out of being somebody else. And it's like, nobody wants to be themselves. Nobody even knows who themselves are. But this whole thing is to show you who yourself is. Connect to yourself, go in and look at life through blessings and gratitude, and know that you have a beautiful path. Even if it's not like somebody else's, it's your path. You're the one who is, like, everybody is given a house. Like, it's up to you to decorate it. So it's up to you to notice, like, if you're on your life path, what is it you want from it? What is it you want to notice? If you want to have success, what is success? It doesn't have to do with fame or money or anything. So it is this whole thing of reprioritizing, reprogramming yourself as you release yourself from this babysitter matrix system. You've been being babysat by the serial killers from hell. So this is, reprogramming. And it's so funny, too, because I'm watching this movie. I'm just like a quarter in or something. And it is so fucking creepy. It is a new one on the Castle. What are those guys called? The Castle. It's not Castle Rock. I don't think it's Castle Rock. I've talked about them before. But they play these old movies. So they put one on yesterday. And yesterday afternoon, I kept thinking, I wonder if they put a new movie on. And then they did. So, see, you get in that energy, like, you know what's coming. Like, I knew that a new movie, like, I got to go check. And then it had just posted an hour ago. And it's called Pin. Oh, my God. It is the creepiest freaking concept. I can't even, this dad, he has this medical dummy. And when his kids were small, he started talking for it. And so he's like a ventriloquist with this medical dummy, only he's done it so much through his kids' life, they think it's real. It is the creepiest thing. And just look at how they can fuck with you can have your head fucked with like that. Like, it's become real to him. Pin is real. Like, and this kid's getting older, and it's real damn creepy. But that is what this world is. They told you what was real. And we believed it, and it's not what's real. But it's up to us to pull away and see, this is just a ventriloquist dummy. This isn't real. And, there's so much to it, and so much for us to learn about it. And, it's, we're just getting started. And the people who are working on their healing, they're going to be helping others, because we're just getting started on all this. This is a complete transformation to move into a new age. And it is letting go of all of the stuff that doesn't work, all of the stuff that has been toxic. And it is a refocusing on self. And to, not everybody maybe wants to follow the enlightenment path, but it's going to become a thing, where everybody wants to be their best self, their best version of self. Everybody wants to find the jewel that's inside the oyster. They're the pearl, and everybody wants to get it out. And, it's like these people, I keep seeing these people on TikTok finding these giant crystals, like out around lake beds and stuff. And I think there's going to be way, way more of the crystals and stuff coming out, because it's something that it has to do all with our energy and the planet and stuff. So, I don't know if it says the planet is healing. As we heal, the planet heals. And, it's putting out more beauty as well. Like, I don't know how it all works yet, but definitely as these people finding them. And so you find this crystal, you find yourself inside all of this muck. And then, You just keep shining and shining and shining until you find the jewel that you are, because everybody is a jewel. It doesn't matter about, you know, how you have confined yourself with the restrictions that they've given you, because you took those tools, you built your own cage, and it's up to you to take those walls down and to, you know, find that safety to come out and show yourself. And it is a lot to do. You know, I mean, we've all been injured. There's reasons we built those walls, but the walls have not helped us. The walls have made us feel like we're a bunch of phonies and fakes, and it kept us disconnected. So it's up to us to break down those walls and set ourselves free. So it's the same thing as the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. You know, the baby bird coming out of the shell. It is up to us to, the baby bird coming out of the shell is a really good one too, because I had just seen somebody, I was in a movie, and it was a woman talking about the reason, it was in the dying, I'm Dying Up Here. There's so many good things in that show. I totally recommend that show. It was so good. But when she talks about the baby chicks have to peck themselves out of their own shell, and that is where they get strength. And that is what we're doing right now. We're the baby chicks that are pecking our way out of our own shell, because it gives us strength, so that when we come out, we're ready. We're ready to take on the world. And you will have a completely different person that comes out of that shell that went into that shell. Guaranteed. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.